for today. Our silver sponsors are Little America Hotel and Resort, Town Square Media, Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union, MHP LLP, and Premier Bone and Joint Centers. Let's give those folks a round of applause. And next we have our bronze sponsors. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming, Blue Federal Credit Union, Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, Express Employment Professionals, Gateway Construction, LLC, A&B Bank, HF Sinclair, SCORE Cheyenne Branch, Remax Capital Properties, Coldwell Banker The Property Exchange, Magic City Enterprises, Inc., First American Title, Ryman Corp., Century 21 Bell Real Estate, Uniwyo Credit Union, the Compass Wealth Group, Wyoming Bearing and Supply, PT Hose and Bearing, and US Bank. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. What we do here would not be possible without you. So now I'd like to ask Barbara Brennan with Harmony Hearth and Home and the Red Carpet Committee to come forward to introduce our new partners for November.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know it is December, and so we're seeing a lot more red these days, but if you look around and find the people wearing red who are a part of the Red Carpet Committee, we are your welcoming committee. It is our goal to get new chamber partners engaged and to help them feel welcome. And we also like to encourage those who have been partners for a long time to connect in new and different ways. So if you find someone wearing red, ask them how you might join the Red Carpet Committee. If they're not on the committee, ask them why, and then tell them Merry Christmas. It's my privilege to introduce today some new chamber partners. First up, we have Healthy Relationship Academy. Dr. Daniel Boskeljohn and Angela Amayas. Dr. Daniel Boskeljohn and Angela Amayas, LCSW, are the founders of the Healthy Relationship Academy. They partner with businesses to provide education, training, and support in creating the kind of healthy workplace environment that attracts and retains quality employees. You can attend their ribbon cutting next Thursday, December 7th, from 4 to 5 at the Paramount Ballroom. Snacks and drinks will be provided. Welcome to the chamber. Somerset Senior Solutions. Jamie Advent, excuse me. Somerset Senior Solutions is a personal errand and concierge service designed for those aged 50 plus in Cheyenne. By helping seniors with the tasks that weigh them down, they are able to turn their focus to the things that truly matter to them. Give us a call to find out about the holiday special we have going on. Thank you for your participation in the chamber. Viva 307 Barbershop, Ashley Mendoza and Melissa Gonzalez. Viva 307 is a new barbershop in Cheyenne that specializes in traditional and trending hair care, including straight razor shaves. Locally owned and operated by Ashley C. Mendoza and Melissa Gonzalez. These women are skilled, knowledgeable, and dedicated to serving Laramie County with high quality service. Book your appointment today or stop by to get all spruced up for the holidays and looking your best. Welcome. EECS Office Solutions, Michael Anderson and Joe McCarn. At EECS, our mission is to provide the products and services to help your business work more effectively. Founded in 1945 by Howard Eakes, Eakes has become one of the Midwest's largest locally owned office products dealers, serving Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Colorado, South Dakota, and Wyoming, specializing in office and janitorial products, furniture and design, imprinting, copiers, and technology solutions. When you think office solutions, think EECS. And finally, Earthside Birth and Wellness Center, Sarah Morey, Executive Director. Earthside Birth and Wellness is the first freestanding birth center in the state of Wyoming. There's a need for midwifery services and care in our area, as a large percentage of women choose to travel out of state to seek this kind of care. We believe that pregnancy and childbirth is a normal, healthy, positive event in the life of a family, and women are capable of being in charge of their health and care. Midwives serve as the guide and safety net in a holistic, personal, high quality, and safe atmosphere. Earthside provides well women care, pregnancy and birth services, education classes, family support groups, and lactation support. Welcome to the chamber. And one more round of applause for all of our new chamber partners. Thank you.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for being here today. And I have a couple of chamber announcements that I want to get out to you guys. We are going into the end of the year chamber-wise, so we are slowing down a bit, but we are getting ready for our legislative session that starts on February 12th. So please keep that in mind. And if anybody has any issues that you guys are watching and that you guys need us to put on our list, please give me and Dale a call or shoot us an email and we will get that on our list for that. As you can see, we have our beautiful poinsettias here, so they are still for sale. So if you missed out on that, you can still buy them. There's a QR code on your tent that you can just send the payment through, and then you are welcome to take a poinsettia with you. So keep that in mind. And then also, I just want to make an announcement that we finally received our plaque for our 5-star accreditation. We should have a picture of that on our screen. So we're really excited and proud of that. So I just wanted to share that with all of you guys today. And then lastly, I would just like to recognize chamber staff. If they can all stand for me. And I do want to introduce a new employee that we have with us. Her name is Susanna Wall. Susanna, if you can wave to everybody, please welcome her to the chamber and please introduce yourself if you haven't already met her. And then we have Lindsay Burleson. Oh, Vosler. I'm so sorry. She just got married and I forgot. So Lindsay Vosler. And then we have Elizabeth Bennett in the back there. So I just want to give a really big shout out to these ladies. They've really stepped up throughout this year. We've had a really busy year and we just couldn't do it without them. So I just want to really thank you guys for that and just know how much Dale and I appreciate you. Oh, Debbie, I'm so sorry. And Debbie, Debbie. She's like the backbone of the chamber, guys. So please give her a round of applause. Debbie. I know, I'm so sorry. She is so quiet, so. All right, so today the air is charged with excitement as we honor the legacy of women's leadership in Cheyenne. The Women's Leadership Award, a cherished tradition of the GCCC, has been a beacon since 1996, originally known as the Athena Award. This prestigious accolade recognizes individuals who embody the essence of servant leadership, displaying an unwavering commitment to nurturing growth in others. Reflecting on the journey from its inception, the award stands as a testament to the shining examples of our finalists. Women who not only embrace the spirit of the accolade, but also echoed the resilience of the trailblazing pioneers who championed women's rights, helping our beloved Cheyenne region evolve into the dynamic, energetic community we proudly call home. Now let's turn the spotlight back to the stage as we eagerly welcome Paula back. A powerhouse in her own right and our esteemed 2021 Women's Leadership recipient, Paula will ignite the stage with passion and purpose. Brace yourselves as she introduces the phenomenal finalists for our 2023 Women's Leadership Award. And before she actually starts, I'm going to do our drawings that I forgot. So I'm going to have Paula draw a business card for a free lunch. Is it Karen Meister Emmerich? Perfect. Do you want a free lunch? So if you just want to see any of our staff, and we will get you down for that. And then our 50-50 is at $105 today. Yeah. Perfect. All right, guys. So 305-7559. Anybody? 305-7559. Oh, yay. If you want to come up to the stage and grab your winnings, that would be great. Awesome.
Here I am to ignite you. I'm igniting something, I guess. I don't know. Oh, thank you so much, Amber. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I do want to take a moment, though. I'm going to recognize a special guest who's in attendance today. Please join me in welcoming our new Laramie County librarian, Antonia Gauna. I would do it. Yep. Thank you for joining us today. She's back here. She's a stand and wave. Let's give her a round of applause. We look so forward to working together with you. Welcome to Cheyenne. Also, before I announce the finalists, the list of these wonderful ladies, are any of the former award winners in the room? I'd love to see anybody's here that stand. Yes, we got one there. Two. Yes. Awesome. Yay. Awesome, ladies. Thank you. So great to see all of you here. Thank you. So now I'm so proud to introduce the 2023 Women's Leadership finalists. As I read your name, please come to the front of the stage. Kim Withers, President and CEO of Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union. Just, yeah, right here. Yeah, you want them in the front. Yeah, we'll put you in. Kim. Yes, we're going to do in the front. Thank you. Kim, CEO of Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union in Cheyenne. She leads with a passion for community empowerment and financial awareness. With extensive experience in the financial sector, Kim has been instrumental in elevating Meridian Trust to new heights, shaping its strategic vision, and fostering financial well-being in the Cheyenne community. Beyond providing excellent financial services, Kim actively engages with local organizations, contributing to Cheyenne's economic vitality. As a visionary leader dedicated to service, Kim Withers ensures Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union remains a trusted financial partner for individuals and businesses in Cheyenne and beyond. Tanya Keller, Realtor, Coldwell Banker, the Property Exchange. Tanya Keller, a standout realtor at Coldwell Banker, the Property Exchange, combines a passion for real estate with a client-centric commitment. With extensive industry experience, Tanya serves as a trusted advisor dedicated to transforming real estate aspirations into reality. Her market insights, negotiation skills, and personalized approach benefit both buyers and sellers in the dynamic real estate landscape. Aligned with Coldwell Banker's excellence and integrity, Tanya brings professionalism and genuine care to every endeavor, whether guiding first-time home buyers or assisting seasoned investors. Beyond her realtor role, Tanya actively contributes to the community, making her the go-to resource for all your real estate needs. Next, I have Alice McVeigh, PE. Alice is here. There she is. Oh, yeah. Chief of Project Management at U.S. Air Force 90th Civil Squadron. Alice McVeigh, PE, is the Chief of Project Management at the USAF's 90th Civil Squadron. As a licensed professional engineer, she brings extensive expertise, that's hard to get out, to ensure top-tier engineering standards in military projects. With a proven track record, Alice leads across cross-functional teams, delivering complex projects on time and within budget. Her strategic vision, hands-on approach, and commitment to mentorship have elevated the 90th Civil Squadron, setting a benchmark for excellence in USAF project management. Alice McVeigh's leadership contributes significantly to enhancing the nation's defense capabilities. Brittany Wilson, partner, MHP LLP. Brittany Wilson is a partner at MHP LLP, where her exceptional leadership and financial expertise drive the firm's success. With a strong background in the industry, Brittany is known for her strategic insight, a client-focused approach, and commitment to maintaining the highest professional standards. She plays a key role in shaping the firm's direction, cultivating strong client relationships, and fostering a culture of innovation and excellence. Brittany's contribution positions her as a respected figure within the financial services industry, ensuring MHP LLP's continued success. This award is very special as it recognizes incredible, oh, I have one more person, I'm so sorry, Cindy Delancey, but she's not here, right? Okay. President of the Wyoming Business Alliance, not attending. Cindy is the president of the Wyoming Business Alliance, leading efforts to advance economic development and business advocacy in the state. With a wealth of leadership experience, Cindy shapes the strategic direction of the organization, fostering a vibrant business environment and promoting innovation. Beyond the boardroom, she actively engages with stakeholders, forging partnerships that enhance Wyoming's business community. Cindy's visionary leadership and effective advocacy make the Wyoming Business Alliance a prominent voice in shaping policies that support business interests in both state and regional levels. Her commitment to community development and economic prosperity continues to drive positive change across Wyoming. We'll give her a round of applause. So this award is very special as it recognizes incredible women in our community who are making a difference. Each year, the Greater Cheyenne Chamber of Commerce accepts nominations for this prestigious award, and with more than 50 nominations this year, selecting the top finalists from among so many impressive nominees was very difficult, as it has been in prior years. Each of the finalists is outstanding and deserves to be recognized for their accomplishments. Please join me in thanking the finalists for their exceptional work as leaders in our community. As you know, it's been customary for the previous year's winner to announce and present the award to this year's winner. Unfortunately, last year's winner, Dr. Danielle Ryan, was unable to attend today. She has asked us to share a message with you all. Dr. Danielle Ryan, along with her husband, Jess, and their family, extend their heartfelt apologies for not being able to join us today. They're currently recovering from another bout of COVID-19 and, out of an abundance of caution, have chosen to stay away to ensure the health and safety of their valued friends. They are on the mend and send their best wishes to everyone here, and in particularly to the incredible women in our loving community. We wish we were here to celebrate with you all. So we wish them the very best and a speedy recovery. Now I have the honor of introducing our 2023 Women's Leadership recipient. Today, we gather to celebrate an exceptional individual whose unwavering commitment to excellence has left an indelible mark on both professional spheres and community landscapes. Our honoree this afternoon is a native of Wyoming, a proud alumna of the University of Wyoming, and a luminary in the world of auditing. As a distinguished audit partner at MHP, she has not only risen to the pinnacle of her profession, but has also redefined what it means to be a leader. Managing over 25 audits, particularly in the challenging government and education sectors, she has consistently demonstrated unparalleled expertise and interpersonal skills, earning her top ranking nationwide. But the story doesn't end there. This outstanding individual is a beacon for aspiring CPAs, playing a pivotal role in on-campus recruitment and mentoring the firm's staff. Beyond the confines of the office, she has taken the helm of MHP's Office Morale and Staff Retention Committee, showcasing innovation and care for workplace culture in unprecedented ways. But wait, there's more. Our honoree tonight, this afternoon, is not only a powerhouse within the professional realm, but also a fervent community leader. Serving as a board director at Comia House Cheyenne Homeless Shelter, she tirelessly champions for those experiencing homelessness and hardships. At the Rotary Club of Cheyenne, where I met her, she not only holds membership, but has served in leadership roles on several committees and on the board of directors, influencing their far-reaching initiatives. Her commitment to the community extends further through volunteer work with the Wyoming FFA Association and her graduation from Leadership Cheyenne class of 2022 to 2023, showcasing a profound dedication to the betterment of the region. As a licensed CPA, she holds memberships in prestigious organizations such as the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and Wyoming Society of CPAs since 2012. This exceptional individual whose leadership prowess knows no bounds was selected for the AICPA Leadership Academy 2019, a national honor that speaks volumes about her impact on the profession. And now it is with great pleasure and anticipation that we announce our winner. Please help me in congratulating this year's Women's Leadership winner, Brittany Wilson.
Thank you. Honestly, I don't know what to say, which my partners might tell you is rare. Yeah, I saw the look. I know it's true. I just really want to thank the Chamber for this. I mean, I feel like they've given me so much in the past year with the opportunity with Leadership Cheyenne and then this. And I've always loved the December luncheon. It's been one of my favorites. And I'm still not sure what I've done to join the women who I saw stand up, who are some of the most people I admire most for what they do in our community. And I'm so happy that my husband Brian and I get to raise our family here, and a big thanks to him for all he does for me. Also a big thanks to my partner group. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I didn't get to work along with 9 other partners who don't shoot me down when I send out like 8 employee surveys a year and try to push for various things. And also a really big thank you to my mentor, Brandy Maru. She's someone who has been with me since day one at the firm, and I couldn't be here without her. So thank you all.
One more round of applause for Brittany. Thank you. Now it is my honor to welcome today's speaker. When you think about exceptional, purposeful female leadership, no one comes to mind as more exemplary than General Huser. Her story is compelling, but more importantly, the individuals that she has led have lived the values that she has demonstrated. General Huser is not General Huser at all to most in Cheyenne. To us, she is simply Stacy Joe, our friend and part of our wonderful Cheyenne community. It is such an honor to welcome back General Stacy Joe Huser as our speaker today. Please join me in giving her a warm Cheyenne Chamber welcome.
Oh my gosh. You guys have me like riding this emotional edge. Like the tears are coming. I just know it. If you could, when you're ready, bring up the slides. Thank you. So first of all, thank you, Amber and the Chamber for inviting me. Congratulations to Brittany. It's awesome to see you win that award. Just incredible. I'm so proud and honored to be a fellow woman with you. Thanks to everybody who's here. Like Brittany, this is one of my favorite events. I left Cheyenne about 4 years ago, and this is one of the events that I held in my heart. Super grateful to come back to the town of Cheyenne. My family was so excited to come back here to live. And so thank you. It's an honor to speak to you all today. So this is my disclaimer in case I say anything crazy. It is just Stacy Joe talking. I'm not speaking on behalf of the Air Force or the Department of Defense. These are my own thoughts. And then I'm gonna go, hopefully, next slide. There we go. So I'm in kind of a weird position here in Cheyenne currently. I'm one of the, if you've heard about the holds on all the generals and admirals who are awaiting promotion, I'm one of those people. So I'm awaiting a promotion. So the Air Force was very kind to invent a job for me called Special Assistant. So I'm currently a special assistant on the base awaiting my promotion. I'm very grateful though, because it allowed me to move back to Cheyenne and get my kids in school over the summer, which I'll never be able to express how thankful I am that the Air Force did that for me. So kids are in school, family's settled. I'm a special assistant. Don't know what that is, but I'm doing it. And it allows me the opportunity to come here and see all of you, old friends and new friends, which is just fun for me. Oh, I lost her slides. That's okay. One of the things I'm going to do today, so I'm going to do a leadership talk, but this is not even though this is the Women's Leadership Award Luncheon, this isn't a women's leadership talk. This is just a leadership talk that I hope applies to anybody. Normally, when you have somebody from the military talk in front of you, we're usually talking about our mission or our airmen. This is one of those rare cases where I'm actually going to talk about myself a lot. So that can be kind of weird for me. It might be weird for you. I apologize in advance. But I am going to talk about myself a little bit. I'm going to tell you all my personal story, and then I'm going to tell you some leadership lessons that I've learned along the way. Some of them I've learned the hard way, but hopefully you'll be able to pull a nugget or two, because all of you, many of you out here are amazing, fantastic leaders in the community, in your own business, some of you on the base. So hopefully there's some little nuggets I can pass along to you. So I'm going to start just by telling you my story, and it's not because I think it's particularly amazing or interesting. It's more to encourage you to share your stories with the people you work with, who you work for, and with the people especially who work for you. When you share your personal story with those around you, it makes you a little bit vulnerable, but it builds that trust with those people. When you share yourself, then they trust you, then they're more likely to share themselves with you when they have a problem, a concern, something's going wrong at work. They're more likely to come to you because you have built that foundation of trust with them. So my story, my parents were both born and raised Amish. So those two pictures there in the center and on the left are pictures of my mom's family. My mom was one of 17 children. The last two were twins. They weighed, I think, 10 pounds each, which, yes, grandma was a hardy woman. Yes. And I guess after the twins, she decided that was enough. My mom was smack dab in the middle. So my mom helped raise her younger siblings as you do in the Amish community. She cooked, she cleaned, she baked, took care of the babies, and that's how she grew up. My dad was also Amish. He was a little bit different because his mom was Amish, but his dad was not. So of course they were not allowed to go into the Amish church. My dad switched over to English, which is what we call just you guys, not being Amish anymore. So my dad switched over when he was about 13 years old. My mom switched over more traditionally when she was 18, which is where they get that, that fun year where they get to go experience the world. So my mom decided that world was much better than the world she was in. So my mom switched over when she was 18. But my oldest aunt, the oldest of the 17, stayed Amish. She's the only one of those 17 in my mom's family that stayed. And then she had a ton of kids and they all stayed Amish. So when we have family reunions, half my family is still Amish, which is amazing. Fun for me, great food, interesting lifestyle. It's very appealing, but that's how I grew up, is that community, very hardworking. So my parents opened a restaurant in my little town when I was about 11 years old, and I grew up working in the restaurant from that age until throughout college. I was a dishwasher where you had to wash them by hand. We didn't have a machine to put them in. I ran the cash register, and it was one of those old timey ones where you push the buttons in and pulled the thing. Got to do that. I cooked, I cleaned, I painted the building one year, and that's how I was raised. And this was all in northern Indiana, which is very thick Amish country. I went to college, which was a little unusual. That just wasn't a thing we did in my family, but for some reason, I always knew I was going to go to college. So I went to college. I was a psychology major, which is kind of weird because now I work with nukes, but it just tells you anybody can work with nuclear weapons. I was a psychology major. I graduated. I actually decided kind of late in my college career that I wanted to do pre-med. So I threw that in. And I moved to Michigan, where I lived with my husband. He went to the same school as me, and we got married, lived in Michigan, and I was working in a hospital trying to get into medical schools, was not successfully getting into medical schools, and called a friend who was in the Air Force. And he literally just read me his pay stub. And I was like, wow, you make twice as much money as I make busting my butt in this hospital, doing overtime. So I went down to the recruiter and signed up. I was a female with a degree in 1996. The Air Force wasn't getting a lot of those, so they took me right in. And then I went home to my husband and said, hey, I joined the Air Force. And he was like, what did you just do? He thought it was a phase, like when I was a vegetarian for about 6 months. And my plan was just to do the Air Force for like 4 years, figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up, and then get out and move on. But 4 years came and went, and I realized I loved the Air Force. I loved the mission, but most of all, I love the people who are in our Air Force. So ever since then, my why for staying in the Air Force has been to take care of the amazing people who are doing our mission, the amazing people that Colonel Galbert leads at his wing. So that is why I have stayed and never looked back. And I have not looked at my notes this entire time, so I don't know where I am. So I'm going to flip. But my main point of telling you my story is not because I think it's super exciting, but to remind you again, to share your story, how you got to where you are, the struggles you face, the people who have influenced you, why you do what you do, why you have stayed. Share that with everybody around you, and then that builds trust with those people. Before I move on, I do want to talk about my spouse. He's the furry guy in there. My husband has never been in the military. I know how blessed I am to have him in my life. He has stuck with me. We've been married 28 years, in the Air Force for 27 years. He has stuck with me through, I think we've moved like 12 or 13 times. We currently have a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old, which, as you all know, brings its own fun challenges. We've had more pets than I can even count. We recently had chickens, which were fun to move around the country. But he's one of those guys that when my job is not too demanding, he'll work full time. if my job is demanding with lots of travel or long hours, he'll be a stay-at-home dad. And he has always done that. He's always been super flexible, super happy to move. But I know that affords me a lot of freedom that a lot of other people don't have. I know I'm very, very lucky. We have a lot of airmen who are single parents. We have a lot of airmen who just have fur babies. We have airmen whose spouse has a job that is equally or more important in their family than their military service. We have airmen who are taking care of aging parents or siblings with disabilities. So we have a wide variety of airmen. So I know I'm lucky to have the support system I have because not everybody has that. And I try and keep that in mind as I am leading and navigating this military career. All right. When we look at what success is in the military and a lot of times in the business world, in our communities, it often looks like there's a series of gates that you need to meet or certain jobs you need to do or positions you need to hold. Otherwise, you're not considered successful. You didn't make it. You didn't get there. And that was something that was broadcasted to me early on in my career. And it was gross to me. It didn't sound very fulfilling. It didn't sound very fun. And it's one of those things that it took me a while, but I eventually discarded that. I discarded that there's a perfect way to get to where you're going, a perfect way to be or perfect things to do. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about in my remaining time with you, is just some of those lessons that I've learned that went a little bit against the grain of what we're traditionally taught are needed in order to be considered successful. Ooh, wow, I flipped right to the end. Oh my gosh. Okay. This first one, it's weird to see my own picture like on this giant screen, but I use it to prove a point. When I first joined the military, I had this image in my mind of what a military leader looked and acted like. They were very stern. They were very decisive. They were commanding. They didn't smile. They didn't cry. They didn't laugh. When I became a colonel, I had to take my official photo. And I took that picture that's on the left. And then I worked with a lady. And that picture hung all over this building I worked in. Like every office had this horrible picture of me hanging in it. And nobody said anything. I didn't think anything of it. But I worked with a lady and she came up to me one day and she said, "I hate that picture of you. Hate it. It doesn't look like you. You smile all the time. Why would you take that picture?" And I was like, oh my gosh, I thought that's what we were supposed to do. I thought that's what a military leader looked like. And she was like, no, get rid of that picture. And so the next time I had to take my official photo, I said, I'm going to take it like me. I smile all the time. So I took the picture on the right, and then that hung in all the buildings and of course looks more like me. It was very hard for me to learn to be my authentic self. I would say for the first 10 years of my Air Force career, I tried to be what I thought was expected of me. I tried to not be emotional, unless it was anger, because of course anger, in the military, that's okay for some reason. But I tried not to be emotional. I tried not to bring my problems to work. I didn't cry. And it was exhausting. If any of you have done that for a long period of time, try to put on this facade of somebody who you think you're supposed to be, it is exhausting. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was maturing, if it was because I had experienced a lot of loss in my personal life. I don't know. But around the 10-year point, I decided I can't do this anymore. It's too hard. I am just going to be me. I'm going to hug the people I work with. I'm going to cry when they lose a parent. I'm going to celebrate when they have a baby or win an award. If I'm having a bad day, I'm going to tell them, hey, I'm having a really bad day. I'm just going to be me. And if the Air Force decides that that's not what they want, I had a great time. I wasn't going to stay anyways. So if that's what they don't want, then they can ask me to leave and I will happily go on my way. I had a great run. Fortunately for me, I'm still here. The Air Force has decided to keep promoting me, so I'm going to keep acting like this until they tell me otherwise. And it has been just such a relief for me to be myself. And because of that, I think and I hope that the people around me then feel like they can be themselves, because I have hopefully opened up that door for them. And they can come to me when they're having a bad day, or they're sad, or they're happy, or they just need somebody to talk to, or they want to cry in my office. Hopefully, by me being me, I have created that environment. So that was my first really hard lesson, was just to be me, which sounds easy, but I'm sure a lot of you have experienced that sometimes you feel like you can't do that and still succeed at what it is you want to succeed at. Very patriotic music going on. This is awesome. Can you flip the slide for me so I don't mess it up? Okay, good. The next lesson that I learned, I'll call joy. Early on in my career, I was working at a job and an instructor position opened up. And I was like, wow, I really love teaching. I used to tutor in college. I really loved it. I would love to go be an instructor. The problem is everybody else that had gone to do this job then left the Air Force. It was what we call a career killer. And so everybody told me, don't do that. That's the end of your career. And I was like, I was young. I was like, oh, but it sounds like fun. And so off I went to be an instructor in the Air Force. And I had the best time. We taught people. I worked with the greatest team. They're still my best friends. We volunteered in the community. We volunteered on base. We had the greatest 3 years. And I was joyful. I was joyful at work and I was joyful at home because I had this fulfilling, awesome job that I was doing. 2 or 3 more times throughout my career, I pursued jobs that people told me, that's going to be the end of you. And each time I said, but it sounds like fun. It sounds fulfilling. I think I can do a good job. I think I can make a difference. And off I went. And I have made it again so far. My point in this is I encourage you to pursue the things that bring you joy. Because when you do that, the people around you and your leadership and those looking up to you see you passionately, joyfully pursuing this job, this volunteer activity, this educational opportunity. They see you pursuing it and they can't take their eyes off of you. And I truly believe, and maybe it's naive, but I truly believe that when you do that, if you're pursuing positions of greater responsibility, they will come to you because those above you see you being successful and joyful as you're pursuing those. Thank you so much. The third lesson I had to learn, this is where I might start crying, so I apologize in advance if you guys don't like crying. Babies don't like to stay inside of me for some reason. Coming from an Amish family, that seems like it wouldn't work that way, but it does. They like to come out early. My second baby, Josephine, and the nurses said her name was longer than she was. Her name is Josephine, was born at 25 weeks gestation. So for those of you who know how long babies are supposed to stay in there, they're supposed to stay in there about 40 weeks. So she weighed about 1 pound, 12 ounces when she was born. At that time, I was a major in the Air Force. So of course I was working full time. My husband was working full time and we had a toddler at home. And now we had this baby who needed to stay in the NICU at the hospital for a very long time. So she was born exactly 100 days early and needed to stay in the NICU. So I would go visit her in the morning. I would go to work. I'd go visit her at lunch. I'd go to work. I'd hang out with her in the evening. They did kangaroo care, if you're familiar with that, the skin on skin. So my husband and I would take turns doing kangaroo care, and we were doing the rest of our lives. Looking back, I do not know how we got through that because I would fall asleep on the floor playing with the 2-year-old. It was just incredible. But it taught me the meaning of grace for myself, because I wasn't doing everything I typically would have been doing at work. I couldn't do it. And I worked with all men. And they surrounded me with so much support. I can never be more grateful, because before that point, I had given that job everything. I worked my butt off. If they needed me to stay late, I would. If I had to come in on the weekend for some emergency, of course I would. So I had set that foundation with them. So when I needed to take time because we had something this significant going on in my family, they did not care one single bit, not at all, because that trust and that foundation had already been laid. And the same thing happened at my husband's work. My husband had to take a lot of time, obviously, to hang out with the baby as well. And they gave him that grace. But that's hard to do. I think we put more pressures on ourselves than anybody does. And to tell yourself it's okay to not be 100%, that's really hard to do. There are some days now where I'm like, dang, I really kicked ass as a mom today. I had a lot of patience. I helped with trigonometry homework. I really crushed it. But I left work early, or I didn't get something done that I intended to get done at work. And then there's some weeks where I'm traveling nonstop and I'm missing birthdays, anniversaries, parent-teacher conferences. But I tell my kids, hey, I'm sorry I'm missing this, but the thing I have to do is really important, and this is why I have to go do it. We hear about work-life balance, and I hate that. I hate that phrase, work-life balance. I think it puts a lot of pressure on us that there is such a thing as work-life balance. And I don't think there is. I think some days you're going to be awesome at work. Some days you're going to be awesome at home, and that's okay. And you have to forgive yourself for those moments. And the more you forgive yourself, the easier it becomes to give yourself that grace. Okay. Did you do next one? Okay. So, wow, I didn't look at my notes at all. That's probably okay. Hopefully I didn't forget anything I wanted to tell you guys. I have had, first of all, when I was walking in and I saw all the women walking in to Little America, I almost started crying then. I love the Air Force and I love the Department of Defense, but obviously you guys all know there's not a lot of women. And as you get older, there's fewer and fewer women. So like, I don't have female peers to hang out with or ask questions to, or gossip with, or talk about clothes or menopause or whatever. Like, so to see all these women coming in was just incredible, because I miss being around women. But I also want to talk about the men. Men have been my greatest advocates and allies throughout my career. At one point, many years ago, I worked up at Minot, another missile base, and we realized that we had a lot of women working up there. So we decided to do an all women's nuclear alert. Well, the minute the words were out of my mouth, the trolls came out. It's like, well, when's the all men's alert? And I'm like, you've had that for decades. Like, calm down. It's going to be all right. So I was like, forget it. It's too hard. I can't do it. But it was the 4 male commanders that worked for me who came to me and said, no, this is important. We need to do this, because there are women who are watching and they need to be able to see themselves doing this job. So we need to do this, and we're going to do it during Women's History Month. And I was like, you guys are amazing. And so we held the all women's alert, and then we held it every year after that. And it was incredible, because there are women watching. But it was the men who I needed to tell me that it was okay to do this. And not only was it okay, it was necessary. So to the men in this room, being here for the Women's Leadership Luncheon, thank you. Thank you for your support, for your allyship, for your advocacy, for everything you do to support these amazing, amazing women in this room. So that is all I had. Again, I really appreciate all of you. Coming back to Cheyenne is like coming home for us. We're so grateful to be here. I look forward to seeing you at more events. I don't know if you want to do questions or just get me off the stage. Okay, I love it. Okay, no, I will just get off the stage. But you all will see me in the community and see me at events, and I look forward to getting to know those of you who I don't already know. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that was really, really good. Thank you. I love when people can share their own story like that. That's fantastic. Such a great conversation on what leadership means and the impact that servant leadership has on all those around us. I mean, that's what we all strive to do. I know I do, and I love to hear that it comes from you as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today in this celebration. Have a wonderful holiday season. We'll see you in the new year at our January luncheon featuring a panel discussion with Mayor Patrick Collins and Commissioner Gunnar Malm. Have a blessed day. Thank you.